recently you went over to Russia and performed over there, if I'm not mistaken, a couple months ago now. But how was that experience?
Oh, it was crazy. It was my first time ever going, and the crowd was amazing. I mean, I guess the thing that stood out the most to me, that was like wow, like had really blew my mind was like I never had a translator before.
Mm-hmm.
Where like I'm doing my songs, but anytime I took a break and would say something to the crowd, someone else from the DJ booth would repeat what I said in Russian. So I mean, I was just like, I was just like crazy. I never experienced nothing like that before. But it was a great show. I mean, we had a lot of complications at the airport where they lost my luggage and flights got delayed, but we made it there in time to rock the house, and everybody was satisfied. So I was, really happy with the turnout.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that whole, because the Russia and United States, their relationship is sort of compromised. Did you have any other issues besides what you experienced at the airport, getting to Russia, and obviously the people love you over there, but did you have any other issues dealing with Russia?
Nah, I mean, it was like everything was pretty much cool.
Okay.
Because I mean, like the lady in baggage claim, she had a little funky attitude, but I couldn't really say that was a racist or an American thing because it was one of the Russian promoters that was mainly talking to her. So she was acting more funky to him than me. So I can't really say that it was like that, And I mean, I've heard stories, but I mean, when I went over there, it was pretty cool. We had a good time, man.
Can you talk about battle rap and the difference? I heard you say you like one of your favorite ones was "Good as the Animal" a couple of years back. Can you talk about the difference between battle rap back then and battle rap now, if you may?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, back in the days, when we battled, like say for example, if you pulled up the Kumo D Busy B battle from Harlem World, you see that you went against each other and dissing each other just like they do now, but it was on a beat, or even if you was outside, up at somebody's school, up in the lunchroom, you would be a cappella, but you would still be, to the beat, you'd still be flowing. Today, the battle raps are more like spoken word, it's done more like poetry. Which I mean, I get, from the point of now you get to hear every single thing, because back then, you might have missed something that I said, I mean, because we going straight to to the rhythm of the beat, So I mean, I get that, but I mean, see, the thing I guess what made it harder back then was like, you can't none of that stopping stuff, like how they stop, then stop. You stop, that's the end of your verse,
right?
Your best shit could have been coming up next, but that's it. That's the end of your verse,
You see a difference though, because the rap battles that you guys had back in the day, you're talking about your stars having rap battles, where so not so much. I don't want to say that the battle rappers now aren't stars, because they definitely are, but they're stars in their own lane. They're not out here getting radio play like you guys were back in the day.
Well, no, I mean, I was just giving Mo D and Busy B as an example where right. Something that you can easily go to YouTube and find, But I mean, no, I mean, like in high school, cats from different high schools used to come up to my school to battle me. I battle cats in the lunchroom. We go to park jams, stuff like that, And I mean, sometimes it would be with the DJ rocking on the turntables of park jam. Get on, we battle over a beat. Sometimes I might, be out in on the side of your schoolyard. And it was just us around a crowd with no music. But, we still was flowing to whatever beat was in our head, it wasn't a spoken word.
Right. Would you want to see more? I know personally, I'd rather see more of our favorite artists, if they have a disagreement, go at each other lyrically and dispute it out lyrically, to where there wasn't anything physically involved, or wasn't any social media nonsense involved. You don't see it as much as that anymore. What do you think about that? Them kind of going towards the phones as opposed to going at each other lyrically. Do you miss that? What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I miss it completely, man. I had made a comment about it somewhere, maybe like a year or two ago, where I basically said, a lot of artists are scared to take a lyrical ass weapon. I mean, with the fear of, losing on the mic, you know, they find it a whole lot easier to threaten someone's life, you know, like, yo, you know, forget hip hop. You say something about me, we gonna have problems, you know, yada yada. And, you know, they it's like, you know, if that's how you feel, then you know you should just go be a gangster, man. Go be a gangster. Don't even mess with music, man. You know, because I mean, if you really into hip hop and you respect the culture, you know that, you know, hey man, you know, you got cats like the Cold Crush Brothers, fantastic five that battle each other for a low sum of money. And, you know, the winner is the only one that's getting paid. But, you know, both of these groups might end up riding the train back home together. You know?
Could you talk about working with Quincy Jones? You had a lot of high praise to talk about, you know, a couple of videos that I've seen you with working with Quincy Jones.
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, that was the first time in my life that I actually ever was really produced, you know. And when I say that I was produced, what I mean is told what to do, given direction, you know, where I mean, you know, Quincy is like, you know, what you know about Dizzy Gillespie. Oh, he's such and such and such and such and such. You know, Miles Davis. We used to call him, you know, this and that, boom, boom, boom. And then he brought in black encyclopedias, which I didn't even know existed. Yeah, he brought in about 40 goddamn books, you know, with nothing but black history in all of them, you know. And we're sitting there reading about Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, Miles Davis, and he's telling me his experiences with them from back in the days. And, you know, I'm putting that in rap form. And then, you know, he's like, yo, do some more of the fast stuff, do some more, because it's like, you know, Ella Fitzgerald, you know, her scatting thing reminds me of that fast flow that you do. So put some more of that in there, you know. So he was actually producing me. You know, I thought it was amazing. Yeah.
Well, some of the best advice that you've gotten throughout entertainment, maybe by one of your cohorts, because you were around some of the most greatest MCs that ever touched the microphone and some of the greatest talents that ever were in music. So what's some of the best advice and by who did you ever receive in your career?
I think, you know, when it came to stage, you know, I had, you know, Dougie Fresh, who like when I only had a single out, I didn't even have Half Stepping out then. You know, he was telling me, like, you know, he was saying like a lot of rappers listen to, like, you know, Run DMC, Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five, and they learn from them. But he liked to go out the box, and he learned from Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind and Fire, Pink Floyd. You know, and he showed me video concerts of them performing. So that's when I started like really thinking out the box and watching Marvin Gaye, James Brown and the Famous Flames, Barry White, you know, those type of performances to try to incorporate those elements into my stage show because they had never been done in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, R&B and soul stuff. So that was some great advice. And then also like one time Morris Day, you know, he said that, you know, a lot of people get into this here music business and forget that that's two words. So take care of your music, but also take care of your business. You know, and then, yeah, that one hit real deep. You know, yeah.
Your experience working and knowing Tupac, if you can get into that.
With Tupac, Tupac was a real good dude, man. I really had a lot of respect for. I mean, you know, when I first met him and he was young, still just dancing for Digital Underground. And I just did an interview with Money B from Digital, and he told me that was Tupac's actual first tour. Because he said that they toured overseas when Humpty Dance came out, but Pac wasn't with them. So when they came back to America, that's when Pac got with them for my Chocolate City tour. And you know, meeting him, you know, him, Pac and Money B hanging with Scoob and Scrap, they wilding out every night. And then I remember the first conversation me and Pac had when he told me that you know, he was an MC coming out with his own stuff. He was like, it's not nothing like what you do with Digital. He's like, my stuff is more serious, you know, I'm talking about this and that, you know. And he spit something for me, I believe he spit something for me, and it sounded dope, you know. And I just tried to get a brother some encouraging words. And then, you know, years later when I saw him, you know, he was doing this thing. I think that's when he came to my show at Madison Square Garden when he was filming Above the Rim. Him and Biggie came together. You know, that's when that Yeah, 838s, 99s, 10 Mac, that's that rhyme come from. So I did it at Garden. And I mean, we got to chop it up a little bit that night about his success and everything. I mean, you know, Pac was always my dude. Somebody I always had respect for. Good brother, you know, real good brother.
Can you get a little bit into the evolution of the drug game in the rap game? Now, obviously, it's a lot different now than it was then. Or back in the day when we were kids, they were selling it. Now that we're adults, they're doing it. You talk a little bit about even just how the drug game influences hip hop then and now.
I mean, well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, because it's like, you know, back then, you know, all of, you know, the big hustlers, you know, they be out blasting, you know, their favorite hip hop, songs and albums and stuff like that. And it was like, you know, there was a sort of fashion, you know, that was going on where it's like, you know, this is what we putting on camera for Rap City and Video Music Box and Yo MTV Rap. So, you got these ballers that's, you know, wearing all the Dapper Dan Gucci stuff and that this type of stuff. And then also, you know, it's like the money that was put in because the cats that was hustlers, you know, they spent a whole lot of money in hip hop. You know, like we have concerts, you know, they might, you know, one dude might buy 20 tickets for his whole crew to come. You know? So, I mean, there was definitely a deep connection. And I think the hip hop artists made a lot of money from off, you know, cats that was getting money on the streets. You know, I mean, I think, you know, now, you know, it's a different type of thing because now you got a lot of cats that's talking about using drugs. Right. Back then, you know, even though we probably made a lot of money from drug dealers, you had artists that were talking about staying off drugs, you know, not messing with drugs. Now, you know, it's like you have a lot of, you know, rappers that talk about using drugs. So, you know, that's like, you know, a trendy thing and something that, you know, the youth gravitate to listen.
Mm-hmm. Would you say not just listen to? Would you say that it influences kids to also pick up some of those same drugs that those rappers now promote? In your estimation,
I believe that happens. That's what I meant. You know.
Okay.
So, I mean, in your opinion, do the rappers? Because some people are just they're rapping and portraying their life. They're doing what they're talking about, doing what they do. So, in that we can understand. But some people are openly just influencing other people to do it. Some rappers have openly admitted in not doing some of the drugs that they promote, some of their lyrics. So do you think that there's a responsibility that some rappers, especially now, have to give the right message to children?
Well, you know, it's like this, you know, as an adult, you should know right from wrong. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not going to sit here, you know, point no fingers and whatnot, you know. I think that's a law's job, you know. Mm-hmm. And as far as any of these cats go, I mean, you know, what we say is you're either going to be rewarded or penalized for your ways and actions. So again, I'm gonna leave that up to a law. You know, I mean, you know, but I just know that, you know, I don't condone promoting drug use.
How do you feel about now KRS-One and Rakim at this day and age?
What do you mean? How I feel about them?
I know you had you said you wanted to battle a few years back.
Oh, KRS.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that would have been so dope. You know, it's just that, you know, we became good friends, and you know, him and Shan, they had their thing going on, but me and Chris was real cool, and me and Shan, our relationship wasn't that tight at the time back then, you know. So I just, you know, stayed out of it. But it's like, as a battle rapper, KRS-One is like someone that I truly, truly respect that way. You know, I think he's amazing as a battle rapper. You know, I mean, he's amazing as a lyricist. You know, and I think that Rakim is amazing as a lyricist. You know, Cool G Rap as well. You know, Amazing lyricist.
Who's your top 5 now? If you will put them in order from top 1 to 5.
With myself, I would say.
Okay.
I would say me, Rakim, me, Rakim, wow, that's a tough one, man. I mean, it would be like KRS, Nas, G-Rap. It's like those would be the main ones. I mean, it's like whatever order you want to put them in, man. You know?
So who are you listening to now, like new in the game?
J. Cole. I like J. Cole. I like J. Cole. Yeah, I think he's real dope. Dude got bars.
The battle for rap supremacy, KRS-One versus MC Shan. You reminded me of that when you said that. Did you referee that joint, if I'm not mistaken?
What you talking about, the commercial?
Was it just a commercial, or was it the actual battle? I don't even remember.
No, I mean, they did a Sprite commercial where they battle, and that was Mr. Magic referee.
Oh, yeah, okay.
yeah.
Speaking of that, man, Hollywood, it makes me think, I would have thought that I would have seen you in way more movies, given the iconic figure that you were in hip hop, and your voice is so legendary. Like you could have been on in Coke 45 commercials, and shit like that. I thought that I would see more of you in Hollywood. Did you ever get more into acting, anything like that? What's up with your acting career?
Yeah, I mean, well, it was like I just got accepted on for this movie for TV One and a role in an episode of Power Book, and then next thing you know, I was told we got to stay in the house, and when we go out, we got to put a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
So production was shut down, so we're just waiting to see when things gonna open back up and get back to work. But yeah, there are 2 roles out there waiting for me, and there was a third one that I didn't even get a chance to even read for because they shut down production before it even did the reading. So I mean, yeah.
So Hollywood in acting is something that you definitely want to take part in. You are actively getting in the role.
Oh yeah, absolutely, by all means.
So,
what are some other business ventures that you got involved with over your career that you care to share with the people?
I mean, I do a little of this. I do a little of that. Yeah. All legal,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
A hustler will always be a hustler. We'll never know all the secrets. We'll never ever know all the secrets. What's some of the roles that you would like to play ideally? What's some of the roles that you would like to take part of if you could choose some?
I just had this conversation with somebody a couple of nights ago. They thought I was crazy until I really broke it down. Now I would really like to remake Blackula. I mean, I may have missed the calling because Twilight and them type of vampire movies ain't popping no more. But yeah, I would love to remake Blackula because to me that was always like the greatest love story ever told. I just thought that was where you're a black prince and you see your princess slain by a racist vampire that bites you on the neck and puts you in a box, and then you wake up 100 years later in the 70s, new time, and you find a woman that looks exactly like her, like you found your princess again. You fall in love all over again. You don't bite her. You take your time, spit that ism, and y'all work things out, and y'all fall in love. And right when she's willing to go with you, the police, because the police shoot her, so you had to bite her, put her in your coffin to be safe, and police stake her in the coffin. And all this is happening underground in a train station. And with what we know from movies, about vampires, they can't be in sunlight. But the underground train station, shit, Black don't need no coffin. He could have stayed up all week killing cops. You know what I'm saying? He could have stayed up all week down there in the train station killing cops for what they did to his woman. But he decided he didn't want to live without his woman, so he just walked out into the sunset and burnt up. That ain't love for your ass. I don't know what is, man.
Sound like some Jordan Peele shit too. You never know, that could come back.
Yeah.